We learn this too late, not because the truth was hidden from us, not because the way was impossible to find, but because we were too busy, too proud, too distracted to listen. Life has a way of teaching its most important lessons when the classroom is almost empty, when the noise has settled, when the strength we once trusted has faded, and when the voice we ignored is the only one still speaking. We learn too late that life is fragile. We live as if tomorrow is guaranteed, as if time is an endless river flowing only in our favor. We postpone forgiveness, delay repentance, and put off love, believing there will always be another chance. But then a phone call comes, a doctor's report changes everything, a grave is dug, and suddenly we understand what we refuse to see. Life is a vapor. It appears for a moment and then it vanishes. The calendar keeps turning, but our days are numbered, and every heartbeat is a gift we did not earn. We learn this too late. Success does not save the soul. We chase applause, titles, wealth, and recognition, thinking they will quiet the restlessness inside us. We climb ladders only to discover they are leaning against the wrong wall. We fill our hands with achievements while our hearts remain empty. At the end, the trophies gather dust, the bank accounts are left behind, and the applause fades into silence. None of it can answer the deepest questions of who we are and why we are here. We learn too late that character matters more than reputation. Reputation is what people think we are. Character is who we are when no one is watching. We spend years polishing the outside while neglecting the inside. We justify small compromises, telling ourselves they don't matter. But one day those small compromises grow into chains, and we realize that integrity lost is not easily recovered. What we do in secret eventually shapes our destiny in public. We learn this too late. Love is the greatest currency we will ever possess. We remember the arguments but forget the laughter. We store grudges instead of memories. We speak harsh words that cannot be taken back. And when the chance to say, "I love you" is gone, when the chair is empty and the voice is silent, we would trade everything we own for one more moment, one more conversation, one more embrace. Love was always the point, but we treated it as optional. We learned too late that faith is not a last resort, it is a foundation. Many wait until the storm hits before they look for shelter. They ignore the quiet invitations, the gentle warnings, the inner nudges calling them to something deeper. Then when the ground shakes and the winds roar, they realize they built their lives on sand. Faith was never meant to be an emergency exit. It was meant to be the door we walk through every day. We learn this too late. Pride is a dangerous companion. Pride tells us we are self-made, self-sufficient, and self-righteous. It convinces us that we don't need help, that we don't need grace, that we don't need God. But pride isolates, hardens, and blinds. It keeps us from admitting our weakness, and it is often our weakness that leads us to truth. Humility opens the door that pride slams shut. We learn too late that forgiveness is not for the other person, it is for us. We carry bitterness like a badge of honor, replaying wounds again and again. We think holding on makes us strong, but it only makes us captive. Forgiveness does not excuse what was done. It releases us from being controlled by it. Too many discover this freedom only after years of unnecessary pain. We learn this too late. Material things promise more than they deliver. The world tells us happiness is one purchase away, one upgrade away, one possession away. But the satisfaction is always temporary, always fading, always demanding more. The heart was not designed to be filled with things. It was designed for something eternal, something that money cannot buy and time cannot erase. We learn too late that obedience brings peace. We resist guidance, rebel against truth, and insist on our own way. We mistake freedom for the absence of boundaries, not realizing that boundaries protect what matters most. Like a river, life flows best when it stays within its banks. When we ignore wisdom, we invite chaos. And when chaos comes, we wonder why peace feels so far away. We learn this too late. Words have power. We speak carelessly, joke cruelly, and dismissively, unaware that our words can build or destroy, heal or wound. A single sentence can change the direction of a life. Encouragement given at the right moment can save someone from despair. Condemnation spoken in anger can haunt someone for years. We often learn the weight of words only after we wish we could take them back. We learn too late that we are not in control. We plan, predict, and assume, believing we can manage every outcome. But life has interruptions we did not schedule and endings we did not choose. Control is an illusion that crumbles under the weight of reality. Surrender, not control, is where peace is found. Trust begins where certainty ends. We learn this too late. The soul needs attention. We feed the body, entertain the mind, but starve the soul. We neglect stillness, silence, and reflection. We drown out the inner voice with noise and distraction. Yet when the noise fades, the hunger remains. The soul cannot be ignored forever. It will demand an answer. We learn too late that grace is not earned. It is received. We spend years trying to prove ourselves worthy, to clean ourselves up before approaching what is holy. But grace meets us where we are, not where we pretend to be. It is not a reward for the strong, but a rescue for the broken. Many realize this only after exhaustion has set in and self-effort has failed. We learn this too late. Today is the day that matters. Yesterday cannot be changed. Tomorrow is uncertain, but today is a gift placed directly in our hands. Yet we waste it on regret and worry, on resentment and fear. We live everywhere except where we are. One day we realize how many todays we traded away for nothing. We learn too late that our lives tell a story. Every choice writes a line. Every habit shapes a chapter. The question is not whether our life will speak, but what it will say. Will it speak of compassion or selfishness, faith or fear, surrender or resistance? When the final page comes, the story will be complete, whether we paid attention or not. We learn this too late. The invitation was always open. The door was never locked. The call was never withdrawn. We assumed there would be time later, a better season, a more convenient moment. But the truth is, the most important decisions are rarely convenient. They require humility, honesty, and courage now, not someday. We learn too late that mercy triumphs over judgment. We are quick to point fingers and slow to examine our own hearts. We demand justice for others and grace for ourselves. But mercy changes us. It softens what judgment hardens. Those who learn mercy early walk lighter through life than those who cling to condemnation. We learn this too late. Eternity is closer than we think. Life is not just about the years we count, but about the direction we are moving. Every step is leading somewhere. We were not created merely to exist, but to be transformed. Ignoring this does not cancel it. It only delays our awareness of it. We learn too late that hope is not wishful thinking. It is anchored trust. When everything else fails, hope remains, not because circumstances improve, but because truth does not change. Hope lifts us when strength is gone and light seems distant. Many discover its power only after reaching the end of themselves. We learn this too late, but it does not have to be that way. The lessons written in regret can be learned through wisdom. The pain that warns can become the voice that guides. The truth that awakens late can still awaken now. The clock is still ticking, breath is still in the lungs, and the opportunity is still present. We learn this too late unless we choose to learn it today. We learn this too late that distractions slowly steal what truly matters. We give our best energy to things that will not remember us, while giving our leftovers to the people who love us most. We scroll past moments, rush through conversations, and half listen to hearts that are quietly breaking beside us. One day the noise stops, and we realize how much sacred ground we walked on without ever removing our shoes. We learn too late that pain is a teacher, not an enemy. We try to numb it, escape it, silence it, never realizing it was meant to refine us. Pain exposes what comfort hides. It reveals our idols, our false securities, and our shallow faith. Those who listen to pain grow wiser. Those who run from it repeat the same lessons again and again. We learn this too late. Comparison is a thief. It steals joy, distorts purpose, and turns gratitude into resentment. We measure our lives against others and conclude we are either superior or insufficient. Both are lies. Every life has its own calling, its own timing, its own weight of responsibility. Looking sideways keeps us from walking forward. We learn too late that stillness is not weakness. Silence frightens us because it removes our excuses. In stillness, truth speaks clearly. In quiet moments, the heart reveals what it has been hiding. We fill every gap with noise because we are afraid of what we might hear if we slow down long enough to listen. We learn this too late. Good intentions are not the same as obedience. Wanting to do right is not the same as doing it. Promises without action fade into regret. Many lives are filled with almost maybes and one days. The difference between change and stagnation is not desire, but decision. We learn too late that patience shapes the soul. We want answers quickly, blessings instantly, growth overnight. But deep roots take time. Rushing what must mature leads to collapse. The waiting seasons are not wasted seasons. They are where strength is formed and faith is tested. We learn this too late. Gratitude changes perspective. What we complain about today is what we once prayed for. Familiarity breeds neglect. We overlook daily miracles because they arrive quietly. Breath, provision, protection, and mercy surround us, yet we notice them only when they are threatened. We learn too late that every person is fighting a hidden battle. The smiles can be masks, the confidence can be armor, the silence can be survival. A little kindness could have changed everything. We underestimate the power of compassion because we do not see the full story. We learn this too late. Legacy is built in ordinary moments. It is not created only in grand gestures, but in daily faithfulness. The way we speak, forgive, serve, and love leaves marks that outlive us. Long after our voices are gone, our influence remains. We learn too late that truth is not always comfortable, but it is always freeing. Lies may soothe temporarily, but they enslave over time. Truth may wound initially, but it heals deeply. Running from truth only delays the moment when it demands to be faced. We learn this too late. Fear disguises itself as wisdom. We call it caution, realism, or practicality, but often it is fear of surrender, fear of failure, fear of change. Fear keeps us from stepping into what we were created for while convincing us we are being sensible. We learn too late that faith grows through trust, not explanations. Answers are comforting, but trust is transformative. Not everything will be explained, but everything can be entrusted. The heart finds rest not when it understands everything, but when it relies on something greater than itself. We learn this too late. Small choices shape eternal outcomes. No one drifts into a meaningful life by accident. Direction is determined by daily decisions, not dramatic moments. What we tolerate today becomes our tomorrow. We learn too late that mercy we refuse to give is mercy we struggle to receive. A hardened heart cannot fully experience grace. Judgment builds walls. Mercy builds bridges. Those who walk in mercy walk lighter, freer, and closer to truth. We learn this too late. Life slows down when it is almost over. In the end, people do not wish they had worked more. They wish they had loved better. They do not regret simplicity. They regret neglect. The clarity that comes at the end reveals what mattered all along. We learn too late because urgency only becomes real when time feels short. But the lessons do not change just because the clock moves forward. What matters at the end mattered at the beginning too. We learn this too late, but it does not have to be that way. The lessons written in regret can be learned through wisdom. The pain that warns can become the voice that guides. The truth that awakens late can still awaken now. The clock is still ticking, breath is still in the lungs, and the opportunity is still present. We learn this too late unless we choose to learn it today. We learn this too late, but it does not have to remain that way. The truth is standing in front of us right now, not waiting for a crisis, not waiting for loss, not waiting for regret to knock us to our knees. This moment is calling us to wake up while there is still breath in our lungs and choice in our hands. What we do with this awareness will shape not only the rest of our lives, but the depth of our peace and the direction of our souls. The greatest tragedy is not that life is short, but that we live as if it does not matter. We rush past what is eternal for what is temporary, trade meaning for comfort, and delay decisions that were never meant to be postponed. Yet even now, grace is still available, mercy is still extended, and the invitation to live rightly is still open. No one is too far gone, no heart too hard, no past too broken to begin again. Let this not be another truth acknowledged and ignored. Let it be the moment when priorities realign, when hearts soften, when forgiveness is chosen, when faith becomes more than words. Let today be the day we stop learning too late and start living on purpose. Because when the final moment comes, it will not ask what we owned or achieved, but whether we understood what truly mattered, and whether we had the courage to live like it mattered while there was still time. We learn this too late. Life slows down when it is almost over. In the end, people do not wish they had worked more. They wish they had loved better. They do not regret simplicity. They regret neglect. The clarity that comes at the end reveals what mattered all along. We learn too late because urgency only becomes real when time feels short. But the lessons do not change just because the clock moves forward. What matters at the end mattered at the beginning too. We learn this too late, but it does not have to be that way. The lessons written in regret can be learned through wisdom. The pain that warns can become the voice that guides. The truth that awakens late can still awaken now. The clock is still ticking, breath is still in the lungs, and the opportunity is still present. We learn this too late unless we choose to learn it today. And even now, there is a quiet urgency pressing on the heart, reminding us that delay is its own decision. Every ignored truth shapes us just as surely as every embraced one. The road does not suddenly change at the end. It simply reveals where it has been leading all along. What we practice daily becomes who we are eventually. Do not wait for sorrow to teach what wisdom is offering freely. Do not wait for loss to reveal the value of what is already in your hands. Do not wait for silence to make you wish you had spoken, or distance to make you wish you had drawn closer. The lessons written in regret can still be rewritten in obedience, humility, and love. This moment is not ordinary, it is sacred. It is the moment where awareness meets responsibility. What you now see, you are accountable for. What you now understand, you are invited to act upon. The door is open, the call is clear, and the time is now, not later, not someday, not when it feels easier. Because the greatest difference between those who learn too late and those who live fully is not intelligence, opportunity, or strength. It is willingness. Willingness to listen, willingness to change, willingness to surrender what does not last for what does. And when life finally slows, when the noise fades and eternity feels close enough to touch, may it not be said that you understood too late. May it be said that you heard the truth in time and had the courage to live by it. We learn this too late. Life slows down when it is almost over. In the end, people do not wish they had worked more. They wish they had loved better. They do not regret simplicity. They regret neglect. The clarity that comes at the end reveals what mattered all along. We learn too late because urgency only becomes real when time feels short. But the lessons do not change just because the clock moves forward. What matters at the end mattered at the beginning too. We learn this too late, but it does not have to be that way. The lessons written in regret can be learned through wisdom. The pain that warns can become the voice that guides. The truth that awakens late can still awaken now. The clock is still ticking, breath is still in the lungs, and the opportunity is still present. We learn this too late unless we choose to learn it today.